Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Yes, I'm Biased, but Here's Why. I'm your host, Monique James. This is a podcast where we dive into polarizing topics and explore the things that influence how we feel about those topics. Dare I say, our own bias. So please, share, like, and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. Let's dive into today's topic. Everybody has an idea of what success means and what it looks like. The people in our lives mean well and they want the best for us. So when they paint pictures of success, all they're doing is telling us what they've known. But the truth is, success is individual, it's internal, and it may not look like what we grew up thinking that it will look like. Growing up in poverty, even when there wasn't enough food to put on the table, we were all fed a steady diet of college, college, college. College was the magic wand that would illuminate the path to success. If you go to college, you can do better, you can make something of yourselves, you can have a good life. Knowing what I know now, I'm biased. I'm biased against this notion that college is the great equalizer. Yes, I went to college and I graduated, but I am biased. And here's why. I had no idea growing up that success did not mean getting good grades, going to college, getting a degree, getting a good job, staying in it for 20 years, getting a pension, retiring. I should say, I didn't know that that was not the only way to be successful. To help facilitate this discussion, I thought it might be helpful to have a conversation with someone who has found a non traditional route to success. Joining me today is our first guest on the Unbiased podcast, none other than my little big brother, Greg June Robinson. I do not call him June, everybody else does. But
Yeah,
welcome to the pod and tell the people who you are.
Kidos. Uh, yeah, I'm her little big brother. Uh, I'm now in Europe in Helsinki, Finland. I guess I can get right into uh, how you just started. It all ties in of who I am and my success story or what I think success is.
Since you're going to dive right in, and I don't want to interrupt our conversation too much, let me just give this disclaimer in the beginning. This is my brother, my blood brother, and we are just chopping it up. So, yes, we are both college educated, articulate professionals, and we're thoughtful people, but you're going to hear a lot of vernacular English and you're going to hear some bad grammar, but it's because this is my brother and we're just chopping it. So, don't judge us.
For me, I think it started. May you know it or not, kind of with you. Mom had you young, so you were basically in the house with us. So what I see is Mo, the smart one, and she hoop. Everybody likes her. My dad likes her more. She gets better sneakers. That's successful. Like I gotta do this. I got the I got the green Sauconys right now out the clearance rack. She getting the King Griffey's and all that. So all right, I gotta get good grades. That's successful, right?
A bit of context here. I think my dad just was a little bit tougher on Greg, or was trying to be. And his way of doing that was kind of restricting what he had access to whenever we were shopping. Odd, but it's true. The story that Greg is talking about, he got clearance rack green leather Sauconys. My mom was really mad when we came back home and he had those, but I used to get kind of cream of the crop shoes. And there's a whole bunch of backstory there that we certainly don't have time to get into, and it's not even relevant to this. But I just wanted to add some context because the sneaker thing, the fact that he still remembers that is really funny.
Boom. Then I'm in school. It ain't really for me. Y'all made me do work. Like y'all tried to do the homework, this and that. At this point, we could fast forward. In Southwest Philly, 12 years old. I think I know what success is. As long as I'm not a drug dealer and I don't shoot anybody and I go to work, then I'm cool. Um, at this
Mm-hmm.
time, my dad, two full-time jobs. He worked his way up with I don't know what education he stopped at, what level he stopped at, but he living good compared to like the way my family, my father's side would look at him. He lived good. Like he got a car, he got a house. He not living with nobody. So that's boom again. That's what I got to go to. Like that's it. Uh, then they made the decision when I was 12 to send me away to Scotland School for Veterans Children. And I don't know if you remember, but you was in Petty before that. So for me, it was kind of like, all right, I don't really want to do this, but I'm on a success path. Like that's because that's how you was. You was at Petty where y'all couldn't wear blue jeans, the weirdos. Yeah, like that's okay. These weird kids who can't wear blue jeans and from all these different places. Um, yep, okay, I'm on it. I still think that's me. That's the path. Uh, at this time, I'm a little bigger than some of the other 12-year-old kids. I don't really realize it at that point, but I'm a little bigger. Mm, I get to Scotland School for Veterans Children, and it's crazy. First thing is like they don't not your name, how old are you, what position you play, and I'm like, what? I had played for the Panthers in West Philly, but that was just because my uncle and them was out there. Uh, so now it's now it's sports. Now everything is sports. Oh, my sister used to hoop, so I'm a hoop too. Horrible. Can't make a layup to save my life. Uh, football, I'm pretty bad, but it's in Scotland. It's a small school, 250 people, grades 3 through 12. Uh, so you have to play sports, or you're just gonna sit in the house all day. Um, now, fast forward, I wanted to be a cook, a chef. I went to culinary school in Pittsburgh to take a visit, uh, and it just so happened I think Joe Paterno called. That was my first offer, Penn State. I was like, wait,
Pause.
y'all going
We're gonna wait. We're not gonna go. We're not gonna breeze through that. So
wait, which part?
nope.
Which one?
We're Joe Paterno, but we're gonna. But before then, we're gonna back up a
Okay,
little bit. We're gonna back
okay,
up a
talk to
little
me.
bit.
Talk to me.
We're gonna give a little bit more context for some some of the stuff you're saying. First of all, lots of stories which we don't even have time to hash out,
Yeah,
but
that's what I
that
was
are
trying to chop it through there. I was trying to, yeah.
but it's hilarious. When you started talking about how you wanted to be a chef, what I wanted to say is this dude would come home from Scotland school for breaks. And we, my sister and I, we're happy to see you, kind of. Okay, great. Greg's home, fine. This guy's in the kitchen, seventh grade, 12, 13 years old. Everything he did in the kitchen was culinary arts, culinary arts. You can't
That's
cross
it.
contaminate. Culinary arts, culinary arts. I was like, my dude, seriously, can you just finish making whatever you're making and get out of my way? So this idea, like this whole he wanted to be a chef, like this is I'm not surprised by that because he was so into this, his culinary arts experience and then, having, visited the whatever, wherever you went in Pittsburgh,
Mm.
it was a lot. So it was just a
Nah, it was
lot.
real. Yeah. I thought I
He
was
was
either that or a massage therapist, and I don't know where that came from. But yeah,
he's a very interesting person. I did forget to mention that. This is a very interesting person. And
different.
I'm not just saying that because he's my brother. He's so interesting. Just because he's never really been afraid to express all facets of himself. I can remember being, he was like 5. He's got the broom and he hooks a belt to it. He puts it around his neck and he's playing guitar like he's in a rock band, but we never listened to rock in our house. So I don't even know how he knew to do that, but he's
Mhm.
never been a guy who does whatever people tell him to do. Um, Even in having an idea of success that is mirrored after what he saw, he still didn't fail to express pieces of himself. So I knew that about you very early. I was like, this kid, I mean, I always called you weird,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
really
yeah.
it's just the courage to be whoever you are in whatever environment and not allowing the environment to dictate who you are. So
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to pause and say that before we get to the football part,
Mm-hmm.
before we get to understanding that you were bigger and what athletically what that might look like for you. Talk a little bit about how it felt to be away from home and how, living away started to shape your way of thinking and if it has had any impact on how you consider things and think through things as an adult.
At first, I think I went through the dag. They don't really like me like that. They don't really bang with me like that. They're getting rid of me. That was the first initial. I think I had been threatened with being sent away 3 or 4 times. I think it was perfect timing now, um, but it was like a year. Like you do this, I'm gonna send you away. You do this, send you to your dad gonna send you to the school, and it was like jokes. And I remember I was in Tilden Middle School, got into a fight. They called the cops. I left before the cops got there. It was like a big riot, and it was like, all right, that's the last straw. Um, and I was like, wait, this for real? So in the very beginning, it's like, oh, they don't like me. They just trying to get me out of here.
For the record, nobody was trying to get rid of him, but certainly I remember my parents being kind of at their wits' end. It was just a very strange experience because my mom would go to the school and talk to them when Greg would get in trouble, but nobody had anything bad to say about him. They always, you go to the office and they're like, oh, we love Greg. Well, they called him Junie because my mom called him Junie, but he's awesome. He just needs to, it was always that. So his personality always made people endear him, but he would just get in trouble with his peers. And so it got to the point where you start to recognize if he doesn't correct this behavior, this really nice, great kid is going to end up in a situation that we can't fix. So that was really the impetus behind sending him to Scotland School for Veterans Children. It wasn't that anybody wanted to get rid of him. So I'm glad he came to his senses about that.
I don't have any blood brothers. Obviously, I got Brooke, who's my cousin, same I think we're the same age, or maybe a year older. Um, like that's the closest thing to a brother. Obviously, Will, cousins, but I don't have any blood brothers. These dudes in Scotland School became, because if you think, because I played football, I will always have to go back a month and a half early.
Mm-hmm.
I'm living with them majority from 7th to 12th grade. Um, so I live in a cottage together. We go to school together. We all play sports, and then when we come home, uh, I left at 12, and then this is another part that we don't have time for because we move so much. I don't have like a neighborhood. Like I'm from this neighborhood, and all my friends are here.
Mm-hmm.
So when we would come home, I'm hanging with the guys from school. So these become, and to this day, these are literally my best friends. Like I don't have a best friend. It's kind of like how you don't really like me, but yeah, it's my brother. So like whatever, like that's these dudes, like and girls. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it in the beginning, and that was quick. Oh, my family doesn't like me. Um, then it was like this is cool. It was just normal. So you don't have a like long drawn out story for that. Like it just became the norm. I
Mm-hmm.
live away. Uh, it was easy. Um, I think that's when the my way of looking at things of just being simple. Yeah, I don't care. Like the way we would be like dress up is I gotta have sneakers because we were in uniform. So like I gotta have some cool sneaks and a fitted domestic sneaks because we all got the same pants, the same shirt, the same tie on type thing. So like it's gonna seem like a big jump, but from then to college, um, for education, like no, that school didn't prepare me for college, but like life, it did. I got to college. I was 19.
Wait, wait,
Um,
wait. Back
what?
up. Back up. We got to go back to the Joe Paterno call.
Okay, so okay, dag, okay, good, I got you. Okay, so I'm about to be a cook. I'm the America's next top hood chef. That's about to be me. I'm in there, deviled eggs and all that. Uh, yeah, Joe Paterno called. Actually, I got called to the office. That was my first offer. Then Wisconsin, then whatever, over 30 Division I offers. And I'm like, wait, what? Just to run and jump and tackle people? okay. And again, for me, college was Mo went, so I gotta go.
Hmm.
Uh, and the the money aspect of it, I'm like, oh, y'all gonna pay for this? Say less. First, everybody's like, okay, you play linebacker, go to Penn State. Um, I'm glad I didn't go there. I won't go there. Uh, my one of my best friends, Jamal Ruffin, he had left a year before me. He was a year in front of me. He went to Wisconsin, so we were supposed to be like a package deal, like get your bro to come here. Maul didn't like it too much there. Again, a part of the reason I didn't go to Wisconsin when I went on my visit, the setup is similar to Temple, where like there isn't a campus, you're just in the middle of the city,
Hmm.
and I didn't like it, and I didn't realize why I didn't like it, but it was because of that. Like I liked Scotland, I liked being on my little campus, and then if we wanted to go to the mall, we would get on a bus and go to the mall. But this is like I'm here. So yeah, Wisconsin was out. Penn State was dope, but I think they had like a bunch of people at my position. I actually chose the right school in the beginning by mistake. So I chose UVA. Um, I need to back up. I'm not sure which if your listeners like know so much too much about football. Um, so I was an athlete, so I could was projected at a bunch of different positions. Um, I actually chose UVA because they had a party with dance hall music, like reggae music. And I was like, man, this is cool. I can party here a lot. So that was why I chose UVA. No other reason. Like, I didn't know what I know now on like academics, who went to the league from here, who is their position coach, what guys can I talk to. My grades were crappy, so they said, all right, we want you to go to Hargrave Military Academy. And I'm like, look, I just did 7th through 12th at a boarding school where I got to keep my sideburns to my ear. I got to have a Martin Luther King mustache. I can't have no facial hair. Like, I don't want to go back. Connecticut was still calling. UConn was still calling. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go to UConn. Um, again, great friends, great experience, great whatever. It was a horrible decision for my football career. Um, I didn't know what position because in high school I did everything: corner, played cornerback, played quarterback, played running back, offense, defense, whatever we needed to win, I would do it. And I didn't understand my knowledge of the game. My IQ was very low. So now I get to UConn uh, campus. It's away from everything. Good people. The next set of friends that I meet, like lifelong friends that I'll meet. Um, and it's a good situation. I was at the time I was the highest recruit to ever go to the school, 4-star recruit. Um, yeah, I was that guy. Like all the freshmen lined up to get their gear, and guys are saying their name and like, okay, what's your number? And I'm like, oh yeah, Greg Robinson. And everybody head popped up. Oh hey man, nice to meet you. And I'm like, oh okay, I'm still I was the big fish in the little pond in high school. We was the small school, just bigger, faster, stronger than everybody. I'm like, oh, I'm in the big pond. I'm still the big fish. Okay, cool. Uh, until first practice, and I realized I knew nothing. I am not the big guy anymore. So it was like a humbling experience. Uh, I didn't get the gene that you got, like the work hard gene. So I would just was like year one or the summer, my first summer. I had never lifted weights before college. I went into college at 207 pounds. My first off season, I jumped up to 237. So I gained 30 pounds, like just like that. And they like, oh, okay, like cool. And then I understand the game a little bit better. Still not good. Still not ready to start. Um, yeah, but I know at this point I'm good. I'm better than a lot of these guys. Mm, they put me in all these positions. Like when this happens, when the reporters start asking about this, don't talk about it. Make sure you don't go to an agent. So like everybody's looking ahead for me. Um, they know I'm going to be successful. I know I'm gonna be successful. I don't think I ever told you this, Mo, but I definitely was like looking at houses and all right, I gotta get this first, and she gonna get the car first, but they gonna get the house together, like for y'all, like mom and you and Amanda. So it's like
Hmm. let
Uh-huh.
me pause you for a second. And can you talk a little bit more about that? Just in your mind, what success meant. Just you could, because you mentioned your family. Can you talk about in your mindset, like that it wasn't just about what you could gain, and then just kind of talk little bit about why you saw success the way you did.
So for me, because of your role, like, yeah, you're my sister, but because of like the situation you got pushed into, it was more parental. So it's like, yeah, I know, and this is at 19, 20. I know what you had to do. And that's no shade to no, like, obviously mom is dope. But I know what you had to do. Like, I know you were babysitting that when you were a baby. Uh, so in my head, it's like, all right, I got to get them out. I got to get them comfortable. And not even, I wasn't even thinking because I didn't know how much money was involved. But I'm thinking, I just got to get y'all comfortable. Make sure there ain't no debt nowhere. All right, y'all can live in an apartment. Like, this is my thinking in the beginning. And I think I remember I got a Pell Grant. I'm like, oh, what's this? 2,000 something dollars. I'm on scholarship, so I don't need to buy anything.
Hmm.
Probably wear the same drawers 2 days,
Okay.
socks, and then they wash it for me. Like, it's really like books paid for everything. So this 2,000 and something dollars is like cool. I remember I was able to help mom out. Uh, little fat was born at this time. Like, okay, man, they need something. That felt good. That felt like, and this is 2,000 bucks. You talking about I can get 1 million? Oh yeah, I got to get there. Um,
Mhm.
so for me, that was it right there. That was success. I've never been into like designer clothes and stuff like that. Like me getting dressed up is getting a new sweatsuit and some new
Yeah,
sneakers.
this dude, it's a struggle
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
this
So I'm
guy to
not.
put on a suit.
My thighs too big for suits and pants and all that. I'm good on that. But it's like, so that's successful to me. Uh, my people good. Um, and I'm like, I'm still thinking at this time that it's just about to be handed to me because everybody thinks it. So I'm not working hard. I need to point that out. I'm not. I see people like Don Brown, who was taken 17th overall by the Colts. He was the running back there. Who, yeah, we partying, and Don is, oh, he's so corny. What are you doing? Eating peanut butter on a Saturday night? I'm like, what? Eating peanut butter? Yeah, I'm gonna. Let's go to the bar. They letting the players in for free. I didn't have that what he had. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be successful and I want to be successful for a good reason, but I'm also not in the weight room getting extra lifts, watching film, trying to understand what I don't know. You remember this story? I'm about to be it's a competition between me and another dude, Scott Lutris, who to this day is still one of my good friends. Mom is supposed to take me to Harrisburg to meet Danny Lansana, and we don't make it. Mom gets lost. I don't know how. So this is the beginning. I lose the battle now. So he's like, well, Scott Luchas is here, so he's the starter. Now you got to catch him and then beat him. Fast forward, those 4 years were really not important as far as like life wise, success wise. So I'm good talent wise. I'm 6'2", 250. I'm still running 4.5 at this 4.5 seconds in a 40. I wasn't good enough for my negatives. So like people like Johnny Manziel, he had his negatives off the field, but he was really good, so people took a chance on him, right? Like he was that type of good.
Hmm.
I was like good. If I was perfect off the field, then I was good enough to get a shot in the NFL. But because I wasn't good off the field, I had issues with my DC. I tried to transfer. I just wasn't it, and it was my fault. So I'm not good enough to take a chance on. Uh, Man, I'm pretty old. When I came out, that was the year of the lockout. So not only
Hmm.
am I'm like, yeah, I can go free agent. Like I'll be a free agent. I'm not worried about getting drafted. But now it's a lockout, so there are no free agent workouts. So yeah, it was. Now it's like, what now? I've been. Oh, you can't see these. I just did air quotes. I've been living on my I've been living on my own for 4 years because I live in hilltop apartments. me and three other, like these are the nice apartments on campus. Um, and now I'm like, okay, like okay, now what? Again, I'm at the lockout. Um, and this was like a big point in my life for a lot of things, not just football related or success or whatever. Um, I'm moving with dad in Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm still training, and he doesn't see it. So I guess I can say a little bit more about that. I don't remember when he dropped out of school. He's from the Moon Gang, West Philly. Uh, he worked his way up to a very nice job. He had two full-time jobs in a hospital. Um, he was like, I forget what the term, like what the correct term is, but he was like cleaning the instruments for surgery.
Oh, he's
Um,
a surgical tech.
yeah. Okay. So he doesn't see like obviously I went to college for football, but in my head, and this could be wrong, and people can disagree. Me going to college, like it's like cutting out the struggle of working my way up through. He would be like, man, you better go to that dollar store and get a job over there. And in my head, it's like, nah, I just did 4 years, 5 years, so I don't have to do that part.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sociology degree, whatever degree, I feel like this is so for him. It was kind of he didn't see the dream, but don't make me a liar. You ask him, he'll disagree. In my eyes, he didn't agree with me on this football thing, but he wanted to stay close just in case I did hit.
Ooh.
So I'm living. He moved from his house to his apartment. I had never lived with him full time since I had been a kid, ever. Um, so I'm like, all right, he got a two-bedroom apartment in Jersey. Cool. I'm gonna go there. I'm training. Still a lockout, and I'll never forget. Fast forward is May. We're driving over the bridge. I remember because it's Mother's Day. What's that? The 14th or the 15th?
It's usually somewhere around the
Okay, yeah.
like
So he
10th,
asked me.
11th, something like that.
Okay, it was that day. He picked me up from church, 41st and July, and he asked me like, "So, what you gonna do?" And it was like a date he gave like 2 weeks ahead, and I'm like, "Nothing." I'm like, he asked like what I'm gonna be doing, and I'm like, the same thing, like working out, getting right. He was like, "Well, um, Miss Mary, who was it was his wife, but they had been separated. She coming into town, and her mom is coming, who was like in a hospital bed. He was like, I'm gonna need that second room. So maybe you could call one of your sisters or something." So I'm like for the weekend, or he was like, nah, like maybe you could just move in with one of them.
Hmm.
So in my head, I'm like, Ugh. I'm tight, I'm hot. I ain't really saying nothing to him about it, but I'm hot. Um, for me, it was like as an adult, and it's so cliche. Like, yeah, I was waiting on the step for him to come around. You talk to him, so you talk to most men in my family, and I didn't. I thought the same until I moved away, maybe to college, because in high school, these guys are from where I'm from too. So in college is where I meet people that are different. Up until college, a good dad is financial.
Mm-hmm.
If I need some sneaks and he gets some sneaks, that's a good dad. I don't have to see him for 2 months, but call your dad and ask him for some shoes. All right, cool. Um, so fast forward to as an adult now, and I'm like, oh, I live with my pop, and I think we did have a good time, like just conversations that we've never had. I had my first father son talk at 16. I'm in Scotland in high school. I was about to get into a fight, and they felt like they couldn't calm me down, so they called my pop, and he like we kind of talked it through, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, dad, that's what that feel like. That's cool. So now it's this emotions that I'm going through when he like go live with one of your sisters,
Ooh,
go live with one of
yeah.
your sisters. It's like, oh, again. So I took too long to get signed. Like that's my like
Mm-hmm.
that's my thing. Like, dang, I was trying to hurry up, but okay, I took too long to get signed. Now it's hit me. Now it's kind of like, and me personally, I've never battled with like suicidal thoughts and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I can, like, I know when I see these athletes who kill themselves, I know the thoughts that they've had as far as, well, what now? 4 or 5 years of like, I'm good, everything's good, uh, and now it's fill out a job application. What resume? What? No, I didn't go to class. They told me I needed to be eligible, so I took knitting and how to kick a ball 108. Like, these are things, and it's like, well, what now?
What now? That's our stopping point. Tune into the next episode where Greg will continue chronicling his journey and giving us the details of how he ended up where he is now. You don't want to miss it, so tune in next time on Yes, I'm Biased, but Here's Why. Now, granted, Greg was a Division I athlete, which is a completely different experience from most people in college, but still, nothing about the college process prepared him to make decisions that were different from the traditional path. College isn't this miracle pill that you take and then everything's fine and you find success and you do well and you make a lot of money. It just doesn't work that way. And so I wish that we would reframe how we think about and talk about college, especially because of the amount of debt that one can incur trying to chase a dream that we are told can only come from attending college. And to be clear, I'm not anti-college. I'm just biased against the way we talk about it. As if you must go to college in order to accomplish anything meaningful. That's simply not true. So I think we need to reframe how we present it as a choice, especially to kids who are coming out of high school, because there are a lot of different paths to take that can lead you to success. You can find success just like Greg did, following the things that make you happy. Thank you so much for joining us on the latest episode of I'm Biased, but Here's Why.